This is a TalkStation original podcast.
Today we are pre-recording this interview. We are talking with Pastor Patrick Whaley, and we have a guest joining us from, of all places, Ukraine, all as a result of technology. Of course, I just want to remind folks as we begin this conversation that the purpose is to provide assistance, financial assistance, to churches in and around Ukraine who are providing, as a result of that funding, assistance in the form of fuel, clothing, food, housing, medicine. Very important for the innocence of this war, the civilian population. We're not necessarily giving money to the aid for the military efforts, but for the civilians of this war. And we have joining us, and you're hearing in the background, an interpreter who's interpreting my comments to our guest. But let me start with you, Pastor Whaley, our guest, and what is the circumstances of our current conversation?
Pastor Joseph and I have known each other for many, many, many years, more than 20, 25 years that we've known each other, that we've shared in ministry together. He has a love of God through Jesus Christ and a heart for all of God's people. And so as you've heard us share so often how we take the food, the medicines from western Ukraine across the country, transported in vans to eastern Ukraine, giving hope and faith to all these people. Joseph is the major person that travels across the country. He has a team of people that go with him. He gives the people hope and promises. It's his picture that you see when we put pictures up of delivering that food and everything. I cannot begin to thank Joseph enough for his passion for all of God's people and his passion of making a difference during this time of war in Ukraine. So Joseph, welcome.
From the beginning of the war, 2022, we are always riding, have many trips to the east of the country, where the war is very, very bad for people, and it's not easy for them to live there. Nobody believes in Russia can occupy Donbass or any other village in Ukraine, and we don't believe it. No, until it happened. For Ukraine, the war began in 2014 years, not 2022. Our humanitarian trips were started long years ago, not only at war. People were always in need, but we started to go to the east. It was 2022 when it was the more need. They wanted help, and we started to do it. So from the beginning of the war, we had so many helps from many countries, and thanks God for Patrick, he helped us too much. But now it's not easy to find something for the people which are in need. For today, the problem is not solved, but it's bigger. More needs is at east, but all the Ukraine now needs help. All around the country, there are no electricity. It's need for generators and eco-flows, so to help people all over the country now, not only at east. Many people now are sold oil and trees, so it's not an easy situation now here in our country. Where the war is more now, the people don't have anything what they need. It's no food, no electricity, no medicine, almost nothing they have.
What are the conditions right now for you? You look. We're of course seeing you in this image. You're in a car. Is that where? And where are you in the car? And what time of day is it?
Yeah, now we are in the vehicle, and as you can see, we are riding. So we are now trying to get some food for the trip to the east. So that's why we are here in our car. It's more time and more hours we are living in our vehicle, or we don't have time to be at home. So we always trying.
How much time are you spending driving?
Almost 20 hours.
What's the condition of the roads? And the weather, it's cold, snow, or you have access?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ну, мы меняемся. У нас по 2 машины ездят все время, 2 машины.
We are always changing. It's not only one driver, so it's
У нас команда есть.
yeah, it's a great that we can when we are changing, so we can sleep and change one another. It was many times that we were sleeping in our vehicle. Yeah, we are hiding from drones in the basements.
What about the drones? And I'm confident that you probably are targeted by the Russian army in an effort to stop you. Are you not?
Yeah, it was not only once that we were a target for the Russian soldiers, but God saved us and we can talk when we are here. So, thanks God.
What are the roads like? Because I'm sure that the Russians are trying to damage the roads and the travel, trying to interrupt the travel.
Our roads here, from when we're starting from our house, it's not so bad. But when we get to the east, the roads always are damaged, and we always have to find another road to get to the people, so that we can help them.
This is important for us to understand. Here you are trying to get material, food, medicine, clothing to the civilians, and the fact that you're having to make this kind of an effort, this much effort. What is it like when you get to a village or a town with supplies? What kind of response do you get?
We are very glad that God took our hearts to do this job for people when they are in need. And we can see how many people of them, they are in need. Jesus comes to their life and saves them. And they come to Him. Many of those people which we helped, they gone. And we know that they took Jesus in their heart.
Joseph, I know when you go to these locations, you hand out Bibles, that you preach, that you pray individually with every person that's there, that the faith and the hope that you share is so very, very important.
Yeah, it's the most important thing that we can do for the people. It encouraged me when I see how, and when people took Jesus in their heart, they are crying, and most of them are little children, and I'm glad to see all those things. When we have the opportunity to give to the people the Bibles and the audio Bibles, so they can always read and they can see Jesus through this.
The other question, of course, goes to the attitude of the population, the people, recognizing this is 4 years now, really 4 years of warfare. How are they standing up? Joseph, how are you standing up?
I'm not alone. I'm thank to God. I have the family. My ministry is always with my brothers. When I see how Russian soldiers kill our people, many little children, so I can't stop. I go through this and do what I have to do. So I will do it until I'm breathing. And I believe that now in our country, in Ukraine, the church must be the light. It is the time for Ukraine to show Jesus.
The light that shines out of darkness, and truly your heart and the heart of the Ukrainian people and their belief in faith and hope, making it through.
Yeah, we believe that through our ministry now we can show people how to stand in this hard time and to see what Jesus wants to do for them, for all of our.
Pastor Patrick Whaley with us this afternoon, and Pastor Joseph, who's in Ukraine, and you're hearing also in the background an interpreter. And by the way, I want to thank you for that, Pastor Joseph. What would you say, Pastor Joseph, to our audience, to the American people, about what we can do to help you?
First of all, I want to thank God and to the people of America for your support that you are helping us. I want to ask you to believe that not all the Ukraine is in corruption, because we're doing it by our hearts.
Just to share, a Ukrainian refugee told us that Ukraine is the shield of Europe. And we, Pastor Whaley and I, have said, on the contrary, Ukraine is the shield of Western civilization.
Yes. Yes, it's true.
We're not worried about the rumors of Ukraine. We worry about the faith and the hope and the future for Ukraine. That is our concern.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Anything that we can do to assist you is important, and that's what we want to do.
Thank you very much.
And so for our listeners to understand, it's the money that you give that come to First Methodist Church, and 100% of that goes to First Citizens Bank, and they send that money to Pastor Joseph, to Pastor Vova, and others that we've mentioned. Joseph drives across the country with others to these places of darkness, places that war's taken place, orphanages. We've got hundreds of pictures on our church website of where Joseph has been. And it's your love, it's your support, it's your prayers, it's your finances that allows this to happen.
And it is our responsibility to support this. This is our community, our Christian community that we are supporting. And that is important.
And hear the heart of a Ukrainian man here, that it's not the media that you listen to, but it's the love of Ukrainians, first for God, for their hope, for their faith, and the love of Ukrainians for all Ukrainians. As Joseph said in church on Sunday, East Ukraine, Central Ukraine, West Ukraine, it's one Ukraine. And they all stick together and help each other. And to see Joseph and others that we have on the team to travel across, he doesn't have to do that, but he does that because he loves God, he loves Jesus, he loves Ukraine and wants to make a difference.
And he loves his people.
And he loves his people of the Ukraine.
Yeah.
To both of you, to Pastor Joseph, to you, thank you. To your interpreter, thank you very much. We definitely look forward to assisting you every way we can. And thank you, and God bless you both.
Thank you very much.
God bless.
God bless.
Thank you
very much.
We're going to continue this conversation here for a moment, Pastor.
Okay.
We're going to be working on producing this. I just make note of this for our producer, who's doing a lot of work. He'll be working hard on this, and I appreciate it. We were talking with Pastor Joseph. It is, what time?
6 o'clock in the evening.
It was dark. He was in his car. They had opened the car door so they could have light so that we could see their faces.
Yes, sir.
And we were hearing, of course, the interpreter, which I greatly appreciate. But this is really challenging, the physically, financially, emotionally challenging for 4 years. And I will have to say that based on the gifts, the contributions of our audience, to folks across the country who continue to give in many different ways, we are sustaining that population.
That's right. This would not happen without
this
Morehead City, this community. In sharing, and Lockwood allowing us on the radio.
This is important. And I mentioned a moment ago, we talked about this again. I'll refresh on this. The Ukrainian refugee, the young lady who said to us that Ukraine is the shield of Western Europe. And you and I immediately said, no, Ukraine is the shield of Western civilization.
Amen. That's so true.
That is the United States. That is, everything that we stand for is in jeopardy right now. And the stopping point is Ukraine.
Indeed. And conditions, because of the weather, it's a whole lot of it. But Russia is more bold in everything they're doing. There's drones across the country.
And they're more aggressive. You said more bold, aggressive, but also they're more, what's the word I'm looking for? They're horrible. They are killing innocent people.
I mean, mostly, orphanages, hospitals, schools,
apartment
complexes. It was a train yesterday that had drones go through it. The temperature's 5 degrees. They've knocked out all the electrical and heating, and it's two separate things that they've knocked out across the country. Most places will have 2 hours a day. In other cities, Kyiv is still black for the most part, still dark. It was 5 degrees when I looked on where I think Joseph is at right now. And so it's cold. I mean, it's 6 o'clock in the evening. The high today was like 9 degrees, and it's been this way for the last 2 weeks. How cold the temperature is with no electricity and heat.
With that said, any amount given, $1, $5, $10, $100, if you will make that contribution to First Methodist Church, make that payment, make that check payable to First Methodist Church, but on the memo line, write Ukraine. All of that money will go to assisting the innocents of this war. Ladies and gentlemen, the innocents of this war. We're talking about the elderly, the infirm, the very young. Pastor Joseph is, as we heard a few moments ago, is attempting to get supplies, food, medicine, clothing, fuel, generators to folks who are stranded, literally stranded. If you will make that check payable to First Methodist Church and send it to First Methodist Church, 900 Arundel Street, Morehead City, North Carolina, 28557. 900 Arundel Street, Morehead City, North Carolina, 28557. Any amount, all of it goes to Ukraine. There are no carrying fees. First Citizens Bank is taking care of all of those expenses. Thank you very much to First Citizens Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, what we heard just a few moments ago is reality. It's happening right now. You heard that interview that was conducted Wednesday morning of this week, Wednesday morning. And January 28th, is that right? Yeah, January 28th. That's when we did this interview.
2026.
2026. I mean, we have done it right here from the studio of the talk station. Pastor Patrick Whaley has made contact with Pastor Joseph on this one, and they were in Ukraine as we were talking, and they're driving in the middle of the evening, 20 hours a day.
To go across. I mean, they don't have interstate roads. I mean,
no.
And eastern part's all bombed out and having to deviate their travel.
Do you understand? 4 years of this, ladies and gentlemen, 4 years of this. And this is what is stopping Russia. We are next.
And to know that I've known Pastor Joseph, I first met him in about 2006, so it's about 20 years that we've known each other, that we have churches that we planted. I mean, we planted in Kharkiv, and that's where our pastors have died at. In the Donbass area, we have churches that are there. In Crimea, we have churches that are there. And so these are people that I've known, that we've been a part of life, that we started churches, that we baptized the people there, that we started the orphanages and different things that are there. So that's why I have such a heart and passion, because I know them. Joseph knows them. We've been together. We want to make a difference. And we're not going just to our churches, but it's to all the different communities. Wherever needs help, that's where Joseph stops at. And
that's Pastor Patrick Whaley's motivation. My motivation is to help a country that is at war, that didn't justify. There was no justification for the war, and that war is standing firm. Those people are standing firm against a tyrant, and we have got to stop it. And we can do it by assisting the community, the civilian community, The military will take care of itself. I'm not denying that. But we've got Europe and NATO and the United States are all working with the military. It's the civilian population that we are working to assist. Any amount given will go to the civilian communities, to the orphanages, to the elderly, to the very young, and to the infirm. Please, any amount. Pastor, I apologize.
Amen. In 2014, I was in Ukraine, and that's when Russia first came in. That's when Russia took the Donbass area. That's when Russia took Crimea. I had just been in those areas just weeks before that happened. I was in Kyiv when they came to Kyiv, and the snipers were there, and the central part of Kyiv was under attack. And it was the people of Ukraine was trying to force the president of Ukraine out because he was such good friends with Russia. And so he left on a helicopter, and it was the very next day that the little green men started appearing in Crimea. And so all this has been going on, not for 4 years, but really since 2014, since this time.
Yeah.
And as Lockwood and I have talked before, it's every few years. So that's why when you hear the Ukrainian people talk, it's not only peace right now. We want to promise the peace, because truly every few years since 1917, and truly before that Russia has attacked in some form or another the Ukrainian people.
It is the Ukrainian population, the Ukrainian army, the Ukrainian country is the shield. It's the one block, the one barrier against Russian aggression that would take all of, if Vladimir Putin could have his way, all of Europe, all of Western Europe, and it would be an attack on Western civilization. Russia is not Western civilization, ladies and gentlemen. It is not. And that is what we're standing against. If you want to defend this country, then contribute, assist to the Ukrainian people. Pastor?
And again, this isn't Russian people that we're talking about, because I've got lots and lots of great, wonderful friends that are Russians, but it's the Russian government that's doing this. It's Putin, and Putin's goal since he took office was to reclaim all the countries of the former Soviet Union
go beyond.
And expand from
that. And go beyond. Pastor Patrick Whaley with us this afternoon, and I want to thank you, Pastor, for this effort. It really is, I think, very meaningful. It was meaningful for me to talk to Pastor Joseph, and I was able to see him on the Facebook posting and the message posting, but here he was in a car late in the evening, and you could see cars passing by on the roads behind them because they were in their car headed for another distribution point. So for those of you who have been listening to this program, Pastor Patrick Whaley and I are passionate about this. We hope that you will be as well. Any amount, please make a contribution to First Methodist Church. Make it payable to First Methodist Church, but on the memo line, write Ukraine. Any amount, 100% of that goes to the folks such as we were just talking to, Pastor Joseph and others in that region, to provide funding for medicine, for clothing, for fuel, for generators, for food, for housing. Mm-hmm. 4 years of unremittent warfare. And we are assisting the civilian population. Pastor, thank you very much. Go ahead.
You're so welcome. Lockwood mentions housing. So the housing we have in Western Ukraine at the beginning of the war, that we were able to provide a large amount of housing in Western Ukraine, and every time new attacks take place, more people, just like in Kyiv, when there's been more drones lately, there's been a large number of people from Kyiv moved to Western Ukraine. And so that's where the housing and all is we try to take care of all fronts. In every way that we can. And I'm so thankful for all of our churches over there working together, people that I know, I mean, for 20, 25 years that I've known all these people. We've done summer camps together as they were teenagers. Now they're growing up to be wonderful young people.
please make a contribution. Please. Pastor, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lockwood.